Hey, so I'm glad you're here, here at this YouTube channel, which I've titled "The Big Success Movement," and also I'm glad that you're here because it's an extension of my website, dudaniels.com. But I was sitting here just thinking about a mentor that I've been hanging out with for the last, I don't want to say 3 or 4 months. And he's the one actually that, encouraged that I should get back to reading a lot. And I used to read a lot because when I was in early network marketing businesses and trying to start my own businesses, one of the things that they always tell you in the personal development side is in order to develop yourself, you got to do a lot of reading. So I was doing that, and of course was able to have a broad understanding. Plus, I study a lot of scriptures, things of that nature. But what I started to fall off on it once things got kind of hectic and busy, so kind of took a back seat on it. However, hanging around this guy recently has brought that back, and but the thing that really sparked a lot of things, I was on a phone conversation with a lady. A friend of mine put me on the phone with her. She was having her husband's having some health challenges. Moving doctors are talking about dementia and things of that nature. So I just started reeling off different health things that cause dementia. Stuff that I've read in books by doctors, and she just elder lady. So I might have looked real smart to her, but if I was talking to somebody, of course, knowledgeable, about it, natural health, probably would appear to be just, random, average. But anyway, she said, for you to know that much just off the top of your head like that, you should, help some people in the city of Chicago. You really need to help some people. And my initial thought was, well, there's a lot of people that know more than me and could help people a lot more. But she insisted. And I said, well, you know what? Maybe I'll call a few people, and we'll put some things back together, or we'll put something together. But the thought that I was able to speak like that, of course, I've gone to seminars and worked with doctors, for, a couple of years. So, I mean, as far as the natural health side, I'm very, I won't say advanced, but more advanced than the average person. So it sparked bringing back these videos and doing YouTube videos that would help people, give people some insight, some understanding about things that can elevate one's life so that you are always moving in the right direction. And I think that's what people really want to do. But what happens is you're either you're on a team with a bunch of, quote unquote losers, or you're on a team with people that have a losing culture. They've always been defeated in life, so the only language and body language they show you is defeat. So the only way to get around that is to practice success principles, practice principles that are not those that are holding you down. And the only way you can do that is to be around people who are, live, energetic, and doing things that will add value, hopefully, to your life. So that's that's one of the main reasons. Actually, that is the only reason I started the 72-hour book reads, because I figured I can read a book a day. I'm just halfway finished through another book today, and and I said, man, sharing these with people is definitely going to help my understanding better of the book, give them some insight. Sometimes the comment roller really gives some additional insight. So those are the reasons why, I got this channel, is because when you read, stuff, you learn, and if you put it into practice, you know it even better. I have this channel, so that I can share a lot of those, lot of books, kind of summaries, or at least the important nuggets from the book, and then also just to continue to edify people on a consistent basis with things that I think would be helpful. If they help me, I want to share it with you my subscribers and anybody else that bumps into this channel. But one thing that you should always try to run across is to improve your life is to ask the most important questions. I think I did a book review on The Secret Code to Success by Noah St. John. And Noah St. John's theory is you have to ask the right questions. And he pointed the question, of course, at yourself. But in life, you do got to ask the right question. Now, first thing you have to do is you have to ask the right people the right questions. You see, because the question is, and I got this from my buddy Tay, if you ask, if you were me, what would you do? It's a brilliant question, right? It's a brilliant question. I know you're looking at me right now like, now I see why he's wearing those glasses. He's brilliant. But the real brilliant people are saying, what's so brilliant about it? Or what's so great about that question? Well, think about it. If I want to start a restaurant and I went to a guy who builds houses, or he rehabs houses, or a guy who works a 9-to-5 as a school teacher, and I said, you know what? I want to start a restaurant. What do you think I should do? That guy's going to tell you information. He says, if he's wise, he might say, I don't know. I never started a restaurant. That's what he would. But, sometimes people don't know how to tell you that, because if they say, I don't know, you might never ask them a question again. And they fear that, right? I guess. But if he'll probably make up something and say, yeah, well, what you probably got to do is just go get a business license and, a restaurant license and rent out a joint, cook your meal, and start giving samples out. And man, everybody will be there. Everybody. That might work. I can't vouch for it. I never started a restaurant. But what I can say is, if you went to a guy who's got 3 or 4 successful restaurants in the city or in different cities, rave reviews, successful, very profitable, and of course his food is well liked and his business acumen is well liked, and you talk to him and you said, or her, right? We don't want to discriminate, not this channel. But if you went and asked them and said, hey, I got about $50,000 in the bank. I love to cook. I do this, I got this, and you give, a good background about yourself. And then you ask the question, if you were starting out, knowing everything you know right now, because they're successful, what would you do if you were me? Now, what happens in this kind of scenario is that most people kind of give you some really golden nuggets that won't help you, just A to Z start the restaurant, but it will really help you get it going. So the most important question to ask is to ask somebody, of course, who has had success or who has worked around people who have been, optimally successful in their trade or in their life, and ask them based on giving some information about yourself. I'm broke, I'm starving, I'm hungry, my kids are looking at me crazy, my wife is slapping me around, What should I do? And then they'll give you the feedback that you need. Success is so much dependent upon the people you surround yourself with. If you are looking to put things into high motion, you got to make sure that that inner circle is fresh, they're positive, sometimes a spouse might not be positive in a lot of cases, because of the yin yang. Usually, if you're outrageously creative and emotional, you're going to be paired with a logical, very uncreative spouse. And so they may look at everything you do with some strict subjectivity and some criticism and some discouragement. And it might be hard to be compatible until you show signs that that this is the real deal. And even then, they'll be edging to stop the show. So you got to make sure that you ignore that and focus on your goal. Put the metal to the edge as far as being logical as well. If you're a very emotional person, you gotta take that feedback from somebody that's very logical, not that emotional to whatever your goal is, and can give you some standalone feedback. Think about it. If some of I know some people still watch American Idol and shows like it, but just think, if some of these people, I know they do it for comedy, but if some of these people were screened at the door and told, hey, you know what, I'm your boy, and I'm not gonna tell you, and look, I'm your guy, I'm not gonna let you go on American Idol like that. The truth of the matter is, your voice is mediocre at its best. And you're going to go on there and, you're going to be the joke for American Idol. And if they say, well, let me take my shot, then, at least you were clear with them. But if you don't tell them that, which a lot of people don't take that advice anyway, then you let them go out. It's just like I was watching an interview Kobe Bryant was doing with Ahmad Rashad. And Kobe was like, I'm that guy that's going to tell you that you got spinach in your teeth. And I'm that guy too. I'll let you know you got a little something in your nose there. You got a little company. You got something, you got a little company in your teeth. I don't know why people are embarrassed by that. Because, at least you're embarrassed by me or the close friend, or the confidant. But if you go out in the world and everybody says, and now they labeling you as spinach and teeth gal or guy, So my point is that you want to be around people that are going to give you subjective, objective or subjective, but non-emotional based feedback on what you're doing. And then the world opens up. So, I want to welcome you to this channel. Here are the things that you'll probably run into as you watch some of these videos that are on this channel. And if you're already on my website, this is what you'll most likely run into. You'll run into our Big Success Movement, which is basically a mastermind membership. And with that, you'll be able to get a little bit more deeper information on topics, subjects, things that will help you and keep you around people who are motivated, looking to get motivation, looking to get aspiration, inspiration, to move closer and closer to the things that they want to do. You also get the opportunity, maybe run into our 66 steps. The 66 steps is something that I just learned, that the reason why people always try to tell you if you're trying to lose weight or change your diet or earn some income or change your lifestyle a little bit, they try to tell you to do something for what? About 90 days. The 90 days is sufficient, more so for health reasons and things of that nature. But really, studies are showing that it's not just 21 days for a habit to be established. You're talking more along the lines of 21 days times 3. So that's what, 63 days, but it's really 66 days. So what I've devised and what you'll run into, and if you're free to try it out to see if it's for you, is a 66 lessons or sessions where we go in detail with some of the mindsets, framework and the mindsets that you'll need in order to take those steps forward, make those changes that are more permanent. You know, I went on a vegan diet for, I think it was at least 4 months. I didn't eat any meat. I was, completely fruit, vegetable. Occasionally, I might have had an egg, so it wasn't like vegan, I should say. But I felt good doing it. I didn't feel wonderful, but I felt good. And when I finally came back to more of a traditional diet, I didn't plunge into a diet that would, shock my body or take me back to where I was before. And it was because when you do 4 months, which is about 120 days of a change, even if you go back to the other one, or even you go back to the old diet or the old lifestyle, the changes that you've made in those 4 months show you that you have control, which is sometimes more important than the actual diet. It's just the realization that you have control. So that's exactly what these 66 sessions, they give you the framework, the mindsets, the things to think about as you're making the transformation or you're going along in this new way in which you want to go. And therefore, it'll help you make it where it's lasting. And then you can become some of the great things that you want to be. So that's one thing that you'll probably see along the lines, as we take a journey. Just recently I was reading the book of the 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. And one of the things that he said is that if you want to multiply your efforts, you have to multiply other people. You have to, train up leaders. And that's the thing about life. If you want to multiply your efforts, you have to multiply the people around you who are going to do the same things that you're doing. So that's what the success movement is about. And that's what the 66 sessions, the 66 lessons will help you go towards. Another thing you might run into is that everybody that has a college course, everybody that goes to school for a course or takes an online course or gets a book that they read, you might want to read a book or something like that. You are going to get, at best, not general, because it'd be specific, but you're going to get a general outlook on that person's, outlook. So sometimes you might want it more personalized. And that's where the name of my website is Obtain Wise Counsel. That's where that comes in, where we can give you wise counsel that is specific to whatever your situation is. Now, I've learned that you don't want to use your counseling business as a big sell process, because actually more important to me than money is time, So I don't want to clog up myself with okay, 5 o'clock, I just finished with client A, I'm going to client B. That's not the thing I'm trying to do in my life. At least I'd rather sit down on a farm herding goat and reading books. That's what I really rather do. But I know that when you read these books, you get a lot of inspiration from the Most High, from the Creator. And so, it becomes one of your duties to share that. So I do counseling, consulting, or coaching, mentoring. So that'd be something that you might say, hey, you know what? I'm going to try that out and see if it improves my life. And I'm willing to bet it will. All right. I'll just put it like that. Now, the last thing that you'll probably see as you watch videos on this site is that I'm a real laid back guy. Sometimes I can be real dry. Sometimes I can have some humor. Sometimes I can get a little bit more passionate about what I'm not one of those kind of, I'm not going to have the question marks all over my suit, really excited. But I am a very passionate person about doing the right thing. And I know that I used to think that everybody thought like me. I was that naive even past the age of 25. I used to think that everybody kind of thought like me. But then I realized some people don't they don't think like that, and then some people can't pick up the emotions of other people, so they don't have the intuition level to feel the room. And so once I realized that mine was developed very early, then it really helps and guides me. So that's the thing that I want to make sure is clear, is that yeah, I got a college degree. Yeah, it's in the line of sociology and the study of people and the study social work and psychology. Yeah, I do understand a lot of those things. But my main thing that I'm really concerned about is just improving the quality of your life, if that's what you want, or people's lives in general, so that you can rise above whatever situation or ailment may be ailing you. So remember that question. If you were me, what would you do? And like I said, you probably want to give them enough information for them to give you something a little bit more concrete, some nuggets that you can definitely go and build on. But that's the question you want to ask somebody that's experienced and has some wise counsel that they can guide you and offer you. Other than that, make sure you subscribe. Make sure that you also get on our newsletter if you like those books. A book a day sent to you every 72 hours. So it's a life changer if you're able to read a book a day, or if you ever read a book a week. I mean, it will immensely add value to your life. And the types of books we're reading are not just, they're all nonfiction. You can read fictional books, but I focus on non-fictional books that help me in a specific area, which will help me lead me towards fulfillment and happiness. And those areas, mainly, if you've been around me in the Life's a Game to Win website, is in your personal development, your health, your ability to manage money, make money, and your overall relationship building, social ability, because that is what that's what the world is built on. It's built on having good relationships, enjoying great health, and enjoying life. And the only way that you can do that is to add value to other people's lives, but also to have these areas in your life taken care of, so that you're not stressing or worrying about these things. So if you got any questions, make sure you hit me up on, follow me on Twitter. First of all, hit me on Twitter, or you can go to the contact section on the website, and we'll take it from there. Peace.